Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of From My Experience podcast. I'm your host, Rob. We got Biff. What up, Biff?
Hi, guys.
Really? You had all that energy 10 minutes ago, and then we get it.
I was not trying to hit the lady behind me, but she seemed very confused. Biff, focus.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a very special guest. See, I'm saying the person's name before I can even. Anyway, this is Claflin family. See you know.
No.
We go way back, man. Wow. I used to get on this guy's nerves sometimes with my ignorance too. I could tell. He's very mild mannered, very level headed, very cool, laid back. You still in New York? You're in New York. He is in New York right now. R&B extraordinaire, actor, movie star.
Well.
What I don't. Lady charmer. Live performer, entertainer, extraordinaire.
Give it to me. Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Joseff McKenneth.
Yeah. Oh, wait, ladies, let me add it in there. Hold on, ladies. Bill can't give you that, but it's a little section of chocolate. A little song with the nice teeth, ladies. A little song for you. Better Google that, man.
No.
Okay, there you go, Bill. I had to throw it in there. They can't see, but I can see. So, ladies, I got you. Ladies, I got you.
This is welcome here. I don't even want to stop y'all from talking. Okay, all right.
Yeah, definitely. Y'all need to definitely Google him.
Man.
He's all over Google. What's going on, man?
What's going on, Rob? Long time.
Very long time, man. I just want to say I'm very proud of you. You've always been one of the more passionate people, even since I known you back in the day, about singing. You were always on it. You were always doing something. You was always in that freaking music building doing something. I see your grind on Facebook. I support it whenever I could. Stream your music for sure. And I was surprised. I'm not gonna lie. I always knew you could sing. Like, your singing talent is undeniable. But your style of music, I wouldn't expect you to be singing about some of the stuff you sing about. But I mean, guess I'm surprised, but not surprised. So it's some really good stuff, man. So tell the people more about your passion for music. Well, before you do that, go ahead and tell them where they can find you, where they need to look at your stuff, where they can buy your stuff.
Plug it in.
Yeah, please.
Well, yeah. I thought you was gonna say this, but my name is not spelled like your regular Joseph, and people's gonna be looking up Joseph.
True.
I have 2 F's in my name, so if you want to find me, I'm usually active on Instagram, and so my Instagram handle is Mr. Joseff, Joseff. But I have a website, so you'll find pretty much all my links at my website, josephmusic.com. That's JOSEFF music.com.
Okay, for my country people, he's saying Joseph, not Joseph. Joseph. Okay?
Yeah.
There's
Joseph.
a difference. I understand. It took me a minute because I was saying Joseph too. It's Joseph. Okay.
Yes, Joseph. Joseph. F.
There we go. It ain't nothing but a French Joseph. It's all right.
Hey.
Oh my God. Biff is in rare form. So tell everyone, so where did your passion for music begin?
Man, my passion runs deep for music, man. From the church down South Carolina. Oh yeah.
There's a leak.
Come on now. But yeah, no, it really came from church. And that's you. That's probably why you so surprised at the music that I'm putting out, or that I have put out, because it was definitely born and bred there. Mm-hmm. But then you get exposed to life and
worldly things. This man has changed.
You come into your own. And,
You come into your own, and what you coming into, Joseph? Don't lie.
Well, you know what? I stepped right into that comment.
Wow.
Well, all right now.
I stepped right into that, but no, like it definitely came from church, and I a lot of my singing came from my mom. So my mom used to sing a lot, and so the passion. I guess it kind of runs in my blood, because not only did my mom sing, but my dad was a singer as well, and so they didn't meet singing. That was a completely different story. But I grew up singing in church, and then I joined choruses and choirs throughout school, and when I came to Claflin, that's kind of where it continued, and then it continued right after that, and here I am today, still doing it.
All right, so from South Carolina to New York, how did that happen?
Man, that was an interesting transition because honestly, I really wasn't planning to move to New York like that.
Mm-hmm.
After my last year at Claflin, is when all these music opportunities came. The first opportunity was to sing on Broadway, and so
What?
it flew me out here.
Wait.
Yeah,
Stop.
Okay,
That
Simba,
brother,
I see you.
hold on, let me talk about my Claflin family. That brother said the first opportunity. Straight to Broadway, ladies and gentlemen.
well, it wasn't straight to Broadway; it was a straight to Broadway audition,
Okay.
which was crazy. It wasn't an actual. But I've done off Broadway. I haven't done a Broadway show, but I've done an off Broadway, a few off Broadway shows. But then the actual first opportunity was the opportunity to do a Broadway show, and my country behind, was flown up to New York to audition for this major role for The Color Purple, playing the role of Harper,
Ooh,
which was crazy.
me and you will never part.
Man, but not it was the show on Broadway, and initially I was going, or I had submitted to be a part of just the background, to sing in the background.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I submitted or when I auditioned, they were like, "Nah, we want you to come up and do the main role. We want you to come up and
Come on, David Ruffin.
So I was like, well, okay. And then that happened. But then, of course, I went through a couple of rounds of auditions for that. But then I didn't hear from them anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, you know what? They probably, they don't want me. And then I came to find out that they had already cast it for that season. And I guess that particular time in Broadway, Fantasia was playing the lead role. And I was going to play opposite her in that season of Color Purple. That was two. The second one came soon after, which was P. Diddy's Making the Band show, the fourth season, where he, Day 26 came from that season. And so I auditioned for that, and that brought me up here. And I was like, oh, I'm coming up to New York quite often now. And I ain't even graduate yet. So I'm still at Claflin.
Wow.
And so did that. And I made the first episode, but I didn't make it in the house. So it was a whole big old process. And then boom, that happened. And then I was like, all right, I keep coming up to New York. So I was like, okay, if none of this stuff really pans out, what's the next step? So I looked at grad schools. And so NYU came into the picture and applied there. And as a matter of fact, before, anyway, longer story short, I got into NYU, and I guess before I was about to finish my registration, I got linked up with one of my. I don't know if you're familiar with DJ Cleve. You familiar with DJ Cleve?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's family to me, and so he has a studio that I was working out of, my last year at Claflin. Just kind of I was like, let me get in the studio and let me fix my chops up.
Yeah.
And but then I don't know if you familiar with the story. He had a studio, but then the studio got robbed for some reason, and thousands of dollars worth of equipment was stolen, and they had to go on an investigation, and so everything was shut down.
Yeah.
And I was like, and at this particular point, I was recording in there, and I had already made the decision. I'm not going to NYU. I'm staying here in South Carolina, and this is what I'm going to do, and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But then the studio thing happened, and I was like, yo, what am I going to do now? And then what I ended up doing was I called the school NYU back, just could I have finished my registration? Could I come still? And they were very, very nice about it, and made a few arrangements and flew up, one-way ticket up here, and the rest has really been history since I moved up here. Went to grad school, and then that's when the grind started.
Yeah, because New York is expensive as shizzle.
As hell.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie. I judge you because I'm looking. I was like, he must be doing well because he's still there.
right.
I know nothing about this man's money, but the fact that you're still there,
surviving, right?
I feel like a lot of it's nothing short of a miracle, honestly.
Yeah.
I am able to sustain myself, which is like, I'm grateful for that. But of course, I ain't living like
Yeah,
lavishly.
yeah, no. No,
Yeah.
y'all will see. Like you have a good photographer, you have a good videographer. You go into the right studios. You got everything you need up there in New York, man. But I'm glad and
Total
happy.
package, you guys. A total package.
I'm glad to see the success.
We out here
So
working, man. It ain't easy, or it ain't
no,
easy as it looks. Like
no,
it definitely is. Yeah,
you've
hit
done
the
a
pavement.
lot. You've done a lot. You put out a lot of music. You got the
Yeah,
film. Like you're always working.
yeah. I mean, and I'm just scratching the surface, honestly. And yeah. And
Who inspired
it's
you?
funny you say that because what's that? What'd you
I
say?
said, "Who what you calling me? I will fight you."
He
You've
said
been calling
Biff.
you Biff, so y'all been calling each other Biff. So I'm assuming y'all calling each other Biff back and forth as like what?
Oh.
What do you? He said Biff. What you thought he said?
Ah, I'm sorry. It went out. It said something else. I thought he called me Beth. I was getting ready to say, no, I
No,
know
he
I'm country, but not that damn country.
I'm sorry I cut you off, but you were saying something. I'm
No,
sorry.
I was getting ready to say, who are your musical inspirations, past and present?
Mm, who are my musical inspirations?
Yeah,
Ooh, ah, we got time for
past
that.
and present.
Ooh.
we got time.
Out of
I ain't
order,
got nothing
out of
else to
order.
do.
All right,
It
so
doesn't have to be no order.
well, my musical inspirations, like I have a top five, and so one would definitely be my mom.
Mm-hmm.
And
Okay, well,
then
she's number one.
and so, but I definitely did like four. I would say three particular people that I look to for like inspiration. There's a gospel artist named Daryl Coley, um, Luther Vandross,
Okay,
Whitney
long
Houston,
ago.
and um, Peabo Bryson.
Oh,
Like those for me are like singers, like people who actually have mastered the art of like
singing.
singing. Like they can really not only just singing, but just technique. And I think a lot of the times people realize when you sing, like it's like, it takes a certain technique to like really not
Ain't no
only yeah.
Here
e.
world, here world, what
What?
it is, here. That's all I got.
No, I love it. But nah, like those are my I guess my inspirations. Like I look at them, they inspire me to sing. But then also just on a career level, like just seeing how they've been able to navigate their own craft and carve a lane for themselves, is inspiring for me. So, and I just I work to be as great as they are. You know.
I want to be like Mike.
All right, so let's talk about. Oh my gosh, so many things. Your film. No, first of all, your name. Let's talk
Yeah.
about your name. So, hey, break that down, especially for the Claflin people listening.
Well, yeah, a lot of so my name is Joseff McKenneth, and so that's my name that's across like, in entertainment, stuff. But then a lot of my Claflin friends know me by Joseph Goodwin. And so and all those names are my name. Like the Joseff McKenneth is like my middle name. McKenneth is my middle name and Goodwin is my last name. And so when I put out my first project, I put out my first project back in 2012. And I was linked with this production team, and they were part responsible for really getting like eyes on me, in terms of the industry. And so we were working like, together, like hitting the pavement like nonstop. And so my name was under their records, Joseph Goodwin. And so I ran into I wouldn't say some issues with them, but they were, we butt heads. And
Mm-hmm.
so it wasn't a pretty situation for a little bit, but then it smoothed itself over. And so when I finally, I guess when the dust settled and I became what they call a free agent, and I still, and thankfully, since I own pretty much the music and the material that I had, I was able to keep that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but then when I started fresh, I was like, well, let me, reinvent myself in a sense because I am acting too. And I use McKenneth mainly for acting purposes.
Mhm.
Joseff McKenneth, just to kind of give two names, but then I was going to just keep Joseph because, people call me Joseph.
Mhm.
And there's a whole story behind that name too. But it's, it's my name. And so, yeah, for a lot of my old friends that see you listening, I'm still Joseph Goodwin, but, the stage name is McKenneth. And so, that's kind of how people are seeing me now these days. So
Well, you're
that's,
destined to make it because until you get screwed over somehow in the music business, you that is like one of the essential steps.
I mean, it's one of the potholes people who choose this path have to face. It's a tricky business, period. And I was like, they don't call it a music business for nothing. So it's a lot of business crap that goes along. But I mean, and some people fall into some really weird business situations.
Mm-hmm.
But then, you have typical like, business lessons that people need to learn in terms of just like, normal business stuff, like what your rights are as an artist, you know, um, you know, publishing stuff, copyright stuff, money stuff, all that kind of
Yeah,
thing.
I need to have a conversation with you about that because I got this project. No, I'm kidding. I do want to talk to you about that though. I'm
I mean, we
curious.
can talk. We can talk. And it's funny. And I mean, I'm not going to rant, but that's actually one of my goals too. Like, I definitely want to set up like I would consider a master class, I guess, on just the music business.
Yes.
But then I don't want to do that because I'm still navigating stuff, and I need to have a certain level of clout in order to really pull that off.
Yeah.
And I'm grateful for at least a lot of the tools that I've learned, just in my own journey, and just a lot of stuff people like really, put into, and us, I guess, gave to me in terms of networking. And, I definitely don't mind sharing what I know and where I'm at.
Word. Biff, questions?
Okay. Are we still talking about music stuff, or can we talk about like some fun random stuff?
Oh my god, I don't want to monopolize the conversation, but go ahead. I have a few. It doesn't matter. We just gonna pop shot questions. We gonna bounce all over the place, y'all. This is how we do.
All
Okay. If you had to use a music song to describe your life right now, what would it be?
If I had to use a what,
A music song to describe your life right now, what would it be?
um, it would be Travis Green's "Intentional." I don't know if you've ever heard that song before. Um, it's it's a song called, well, the name of the song, the lyrics in the song says, "All things are working for my good because he's intentional." And that's the story of my life right now because, I'm at a place in my life and in my career where, if I could write a book about how I got to this point, and I guess a lot of the opportunities that I have on the table right now, would you be
Oh.
like, what? How? Yikes.
Yeah.
And made it there. And it's like, yeah, a lot of that worked out for my good, and I'm grateful for that. So, I normally I would have probably taken that song question to another, in another direction. But that's honestly really how I feel about, if I had a song to describe my life, that would definitely be it. All things working for my good.
All right now. Are you like a good Christian man? Are you, you strict? Hmm? Is what you're
that's
thinking
a
about? Is that a facade?
that's a subjective question, but I definitely have values, and there are things that you know there are things. Have you heard any of my music?
Do I need that? You know what? That's fine. Let me go ask some Claflin girls what you really like. That's fine.
No, she
You
hasn't
ain't
heard
gotta
any
do
of.
this.
You need to. You
No,
got.
no, 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 no,
She
no.
got Apple
I
Music.
no.
She need to get some of your music
I
to listen.
definitely no.
I heard like two songs. I heard like two songs.
I'm
But
not.
then you talking about your, God fearing Christian man. I just want to make sure before I go solicit you, what kind of man you are. There's a different type of female, so I can't be
You know
having you
what?
out here like.
But I ain't listen. I ain't strict like that. But then I ain't one that says if I'm a God fearing, man of God, that I'm not human. And I think that's a common misconception about a lot of people who have faith. It's just
we
like,
know you're not perfect, honey. That's why you in the church. But I just need to know what kind of man you is, so when I put you out there for the gals, I can narrow it down a little bit. Because, some women, they like to sing a boy, but then some women don't, I need to know, like, what you into? Let me get the good stuff going.
Y'all some freaks is what I feel like this podcast is. Y'all some freaks. Let's be real about it. Let's be real about it. And that's fine too. Like I don't mind a little bit of that, but at the same time, that has a space too. So
ladies, don't be fooled. Them Christian ones be the most freakiest ones. Don't even play. Don't even play. It be the ones. They be the most freakiest, most lit, most butt eating. Don't play. They be with it. Don't. All right, let her. Now I already know what type of man he is because he's sitting there laughing and smiling and kikiing this whole time. And he's from Claflin. Them private school kids are worse.
I'm quite virginal. You hear me?
What's in your search bar?
You probably search bar.
Oh, you got quiet then.
No.
What you be searching?
No, because I had to think about it. Because honestly, I don't really feel on my computer like this. Like, if anything's in my search bar, it's not even on my phone. You know what's it's because we taking this there, but at the same time, like I'm like
just jokes, honey. I'm not really trying to pressure you.
No, like this is because this is stuff that people think about.
Yeah,
and I'm literally like, I have nothing that's like crazy, like out the way. Like I don't, and it was you and I, because I'll say this now. I don't drink, I don't smoke anymore. Like I've done those things, and
me too.
I don't.
Me too.
And I definitely don't judge anybody who does or say that it's wrong. Like that ain't my place to say anything is wrong or right. Like I feel that this is my motto. It's just like follow your bliss. If whatever's making you happy is what's making you happy, that like go with that. Go with that. I'm just saying. But I'm at a point now, I guess, in my life, because and now that I'm talking about this, like I'm actually gonna write a book. And so, I've done some things in my life. I've done some things that are like, oh, Joseff did that? Joseff what? Joseff, but at the same time, it's just like, everybody's got their own experiences. So
yeah, because I seen your little nasty movie. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. It's not. Give me your YouTube page real quick.
Is Joseff TV. That's what it is.
So he has a short film on there called After a While. And I want to talk to you about this.
Talk about it.
So I watched it again the other day to refresh myself. What is that film based off? Is that based off of real life experience?
I say it's semi-autobiographical.
I don't know what none of that meant.
Oh, a little bit based on his life.
Yeah.
Which parts?
A little bit.
Bits and pieces.
Yeah.
There was only a bit. It was a short film. It was only a bit and piece itself. So
and I can lie all the time on social media, but it's one truth, and you won't know it's the truth in there. I lie on the internet.
It's a little bit a part of my life in the sense that the names have been changed, and then two, I've never been cheated on. And so the girl in the movie, I hate to spoil the film. You know what?
Okay, well give a brief overview. Give a brief overview of what it's about.
Well, the story is based loosely on my life, loosely on a character's life. I would say the character's life because the guy's name I play in the film is called Caleb. And so he's a musician, he's a singer. And so he's caught and torn between his personal endeavors and his professional endeavors. And so he's pursuing this life as a star, but then he also has a love life that he's kind of neglecting. And the story unfolds in that space where he has to make a decision that serves basically his heart and soul, or his own selfish desires. And you'll see how that flows if you're gonna watch the film.
Yeah, I need to go watch that. You need to go watch it. What inspired you to do a film? So you went from, because I've just always known you on the musical side of things. What made you start getting into that?
I've always been into film, and I think um, what made me, excuse me, make the decision to actually go forward and do it, um, was listening to like some of my songs. And I think a lot of people, a lot of feedback that I've gotten back from my music is just like, oh, your stuff sounds like it belongs on a soundtrack. And then that's something that kind of really stuck with me. I was like, soundtrack, maybe I should write a soundtrack. You know what, maybe I should write a movie. And that's what I did. I actually wrote a storyline, a story, write up for a movie. And the Afterwhile film was supposed to have been a full-length feature film.
Mm-hmm.
But then it turned into a short film for budget reasons.
Mm-hmm.
But a full-length feature film is definitely still in the vision. It's still on the vision board. And but that whole part, or that whole film that I did, was definitely something that I didn't like. I was like, wow, I did a film, hired actors and everything.
Wow.
And it actually felt good to really do it, because I'm like, how am I going to pull this off?
Mm-hmm.
Because you need a crew, you need actors, and then I was planning to do a soundtrack to go along with it. It's like, oh, I need, producers, I need writers. But then thankfully, when it's, I'm grateful to be able to tap into my own, gifts and talent, and like you use what I have, but then also use my network of people.
Yep.
And then how I see things is just like when you put it out there into the atmosphere, into the universe, then it's almost like you put one step forward, and then boom, like everything you need is like in that next step. And that's what happened with this film. Like, I didn't know, like I had a budget, I had a budget set aside, but I didn't know who I was going to get to film this.
Yeah.
I didn't know, how I was going to get actors to play in this. And then I just sort of, I just outsourced and did my own research. And then I did a film, actually, the year prior, with with one of my friends. And then I reached out to him. And so thankfully he was available to come in and help me direct it, and, help me get crew members. And so that was like a big plus for me. And, I feel like that's a highlight of one of my career moments,
Mm-hmm.
like being able to do a film and being able to do a soundtrack for it, and have it turn out at least better than I anticipated it turning out. So, yeah.
Yeah, I remember when you were working on it and dropping previews and things of that nature, and I was like, wow. Because a lot of people have dreams and thoughts of doing things like that, but they never finish or never follow through. Me being one of them, like, I got stuff on my board. I'm like, oh, yeah, I was supposed to do that. And I didn't do it yet. I still got time, but...
Yeah. Commitment is everything. Like, and I think that's a part of the storyline in the film, too. Like, this guy is like, he's so like laser focused on like his professional life, and then you get an inside track on like, oh yeah, you got a girl, and you just neglecting the girl, and she don't know what to think.
Your character was cold though. At the beginning, when he left them keys outside the door, I said, "Oh, he nasty." And then I was like, "Well, what if she didn't go after him and look? Like her keys just would have been there." Like,
yeah, I be setting that up quite nicely. Mainly because when that's the main feedback we was getting, is like, yo, you was that cold in that first.
I had to remember it wasn't you.
Right. It wasn't.
Yeah.
But not like, but then it kind of unfolded, and it was like, oh,
yeah,
she's fucking cheetah.
Yeah.
So, but nah. But I think, I guess for anybody who's gonna watch it, like you can draw your own conclusions by it, and so,
Yeah, I did like the I like that it wasn't put together traditionally. I liked how it showed different aspects of the characters' lives and how they ended up intertwining, and how some of their
Or
thoughts
like
and feelings
full
came about.
circle.
Yeah, I like that. I was like, huh? Because I was like, well, what's going on here? Oh, she like this. Oh, and that's how he's feeling it. Oh, she acting like this. And then at the end, I was like, all right, cool. So, yeah, I definitely enjoyed that.
Well,
So,
I appreciate that.
I appreciate you for creating quality content, man. I mean, it's all about the creators. This time and era we're in, like, it's all about creators and being
I agree.
creative.
I
Yeah,
agree.
yeah, yeah.
And
And
you
what
saying, I
TV?
mean, and then this is the perfect time. You saying that, to stick with your commitment. Like, man, like, because half the time, a lot of stuff that I've done, like, I didn't even know how I was gonna finish it. Like, even the short film, I didn't even know how I was gonna finish that. Like, let alone like start it and like, But then I had a plan. Like, I definitely had stuff mapped out. But then I was determined, and I guess that kind of helps a lot too. You know.
Yeah, that's how this podcast was. I started out in a totally different direction. But one of the things I read in my studies about podcasts is consistency is the most important thing. They're like, you can change the name, you can do a lot of changes, but they're like, if you're not consistent, you won't capture an audience.
Right.
So that was the one thing I dedicated myself to over the years, is to stay consistent. And now that we've done that, we have a little following. We're trying to grow it. I don't know how to break through the glass ceiling of podcasting yet, because it's still it's like it's up and coming, but no one has figured it. Biff, can you mute it?
I'm sorry.
Biff going in, back.
Biff, all right? I'm like, shit, I'm about to come over for dinner, get some cereal. But it's like I haven't figured out how to break through that glass ceiling of monetizing it and getting thousands, because we get about a few hundred listeners per episode, which is good.
Yeah, but you know what, Biff? I think it's more or less one of those that is not necessarily what sets you apart. Is, I hate to say it, but what can make you viral to get the people listening?
Yeah, that's true.
Like if
I
you
think
could
that I
just
think they
take,
were
I
hand
think
in
if you could
hand for
just,
me.
yeah, I think if you could just take clips and people would be like, oh, he said what? They're more inclined to go listen. You know what I'm saying? Like it's kind of like it's not so much that we aren't creating great content. It's just getting it out there. It's like people, you know what, people thrive off drama and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody likes
So
a shot.
it's yeah, it's almost like you got to be clickbaity a little bit.
You're right. But you know what? I don't pay for any promotion yet. That's something I wanted to say. I'm saving money for that, because I'm like, I want to do it, but I want to do it in the right way and then on the right platform. Facebook may be one of them, because it's cheap and you can reach anyone you want to reach, because you can target them. It's simple to set up. But that's another thing I'm looking into, because I'm just trying to figure out what's next. But this ain't about that. This is about Joseff. So, you said we be shocked. Look, we go way back like Cracker Jacks. Don't do that. You said we'd be amazed at some of the things and opportunities you have on the table. Can you talk about some of those things?
Yeah, of course. Well, one of them, I guess, this whole life change. Well, I would say it's life changing, but it's just like, it was an upgrade to where I'm at right now. I performed at Carnegie Hall.
I saw that.
Ooh.
This past December, and that introduced me to, gave me access to like a whole world of the industry that I've been working to get to, and so I'm with the RCA label, RCA family at this point.
What?
And
hold up.
Thank you.
Yay!
Okay.
Yes. I know somebody that work at EM.
And so we well, it's under the RCA umbrella, but it's RCA Inspiration. So a lot of the inspiration and gospel artists are under that label.
I don't care. Don't be trying to be humble. You fine. You say that shit.
And so we're actually working right now. You think I could thought?
Hold up.
I'm
say
working
that again. Hold up.
now.
We're having some connection issues. Say that again.
I said you thought I was working before, but I'm at like it's like we've upped the ante now, and I have a single set to be released this May.
Okay.
So, all right.
Video with it?
Don't know yet. I know for sure that the single is set to be released this May, and so right now we're working on stuff, and we're definitely gonna have a single to come out this May. So yeah, boom.
Wow. So what's
That's an exclusive.
Where I appreciate that, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all just
Well,
got
kind of an exclusive, but yeah, it is. Like a lot of my Claflin family don't know, and so I think since a lot of my Claflin family listening to this, then yeah, we in the building, y'all.
Yo, so they hiring?
Yeah,
right. Y'all niggas hiring?
I think I like that.
No, I'm serious though. No, no. That's what's up. That's what's up.
That's
what else you got? What else you got on the table? Anything else?
When's your birthday? What's
September
your sign? September what?
14th.
That's my mommy's birthday.
Oh wait, your mom's for now. She's a Virgo.
What?
Sweet.
Yeah.
Don't do that to mommy.
Yeah, Godspeed.
No. Don't do that to us.
I love that woman, but oh Lord. Y'all are Virgos. Matter of fact, did you see that Shade Room post? And they was like, basically, I like to cause a bunch of trauma and then play victim with sign of mine. Everybody said Virgo.
I'm not familiar with that. I don't know about that. I mean, some Virgos do that, but I don't think I'm a typical Virgo, honestly. In some ways, not in that way. I don't play victim for anything. Like I own my shit.
Right. What so what's the, I guess this is a very open-ended question. What's the goal at this point, man? I mean, it looks like you're getting there music-wise. You have a lot of content. You're making the right moves. You're getting in touch with the right people. You've situated yourself to have support that you need to continue to produce music. But, 5-10 years from now, what are you seeing for yourself?
Definitely more dollar figures.
I know that's right. You better sing this.
We want to be living freely.
Yeah.
Right now we're basically just kind of getting by, basically from paycheck to paycheck. And I'm grateful to be able to perform as much as I do too. So it's like I do a lot of freelance work, which is what's keeping me afloat, keeping my head above water. But then like 5 year, like I said, in a 5-year period, I definitely want to definitely see myself living comfortably and more freely, but also creating more. Like I want to, I definitely want to be in a motion picture, like a major motion picture.
I can see that for you.
And like touring, I want to tour. I want to be performing my own music, like live, putting on my own shows and gaining revenue like that. And then I also see, and I guess if we want to go further, like even if it is in between a 5-year period, I definitely, mention that whole masterclass thing. I want to, be able to give back in that sense and, have a sustainable name for myself.
You didn't mention anything about a wife and kids or family, so you're just solely career focused.
I would say no. I definitely
can I interrupt and say something there? Why is that not just for men, but why is that always seen as a goal for an adult?
What?
Like having a wife and having family, like.
That's a very good question.
It's to the point now where some people are not necessarily uncomfortable, but some people honestly don't want that.
That's why I asked, because I just genuinely want to know if that's something because there's a lot of people who don't want it, who don't think about it, and there's some people who are so career focused. It's like it's not a goal. It's kind of like, because I'm pretty sure J Money is beating them off with a stick. I mean, I know they hollering. I know they in the DMs.
I know he is.
I know
that little chocolate skin.
I seen the pictures with
dimples.
I seen the pictures with the chest out. I seen it.
And
you was doing the push ups.
You know they. They
tried to holler, But
Nah, no, I wouldn't rule it out. But like she just mentioned, like it was like that's definitely something. Um, like I feel like it's pressure there, in terms of because I feel like that's something that's a human concern. I guess people want you to feel like, oh, you want to settle down and have a family and all that stuff. I'm definitely family oriented, but then it gets deep sometimes because it's like even when in my own attempts to finding that, I realized that there's a people deal with a lot of trauma,
yeah.
and then you don't really see it until you get heavily involved, and you're
Mm-hmm.
like, "Oh, what's this?" And then it's just like, I'm all about healing and going about and like discovering who you are, and I feel like for me, I'm interested in that. I'm interested in family
Mm-hmm.
and starting and building a family of my own, but then I'm not. That's not like the top focus in my mind.
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like in those situations you kind of have to let go, let flow, kind of thing,
Yep.
and that's how I see it. So it's not really. It's in the back of my mind, but it's not something that I'm like, boom, like I must get married, I must have kids,
Right.
I must this, I must do that, and because I think at one point that I did think about that, like it was at the forefront of my mind, but then I was like, now I got to get this money first.
Yeah.
Not only get this money
Yeah.
first, but I want to get this money so I can have a sustainable life, so I can focus on that and like be able to provide in a sense, not so much provide, but just be comfortable
Yeah.
enough to handle that kind of a thing. Because that's a financial part to being partnered with
Hell
someone
yeah.
and kids. And so it's like, yeah.
Something got to give.
But
Something definitely has to get. Biff, are you trying to talk to us or are you talking
see
in the background? You're muted.
I can't hear you. You're muted.
Sorry.
Oh, you was
I was
talking.
I was trying to be nice. No, I was trying to be nice because I was like moving stuff, so I had
Oh,
put on mute.
I thought you was talking to us though. Okay.
I was talking to y'all. I just didn't know I was muted.
Say
Mm,
what you was gonna say.
The hell, I forgot now.
yeah.
Okay. I only got a couple Biff questions.
What is your ideal girl like? Not what she look like, what she's like.
Intelligence is very important. But
Okay.
Don't
then,
try to play my homie. He know what you mean.
No, because some guys like, oh, they'll be like preference. Oh, light skin. Like,
Nah,
I want
he's
no,
not.
that's honestly that's real shallow. But at the same time,
no,
um,
no, because you're from the South. You do understand how colorism and how a lot of
I
men do
absolutely,
work down here. So I do
absolutely.
ask that. No, it's not. I mean, it is stupid, but that is something you have to ask,
But
especially
you
in
know
the
what? I wouldn't even
South.
say. I wouldn't even go as far as say it's stupid. Like it's definitely a part of people's like reality or just their logic in terms of just what they like.
Yeah, that's what I'd be like. So, what's your preference? What do you look for? Oh, light skin. That'd be like the first thing they say, and
Nah,
I'm like,
no,
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 no, no, that's not what I mean. Like personality wise, if she didn't have a look, what would she have?
nah. It's much deeper than that for me. It's like it's intelligence is definitely one. And I
Mm.
mean, intelligence is subjective itself because it's like, people's level of intelligence is,
What type of intelligence? Are you woke?
well, and
Are
even
you
that,
book smart? Or, you know?
I would say all of the above. Because I definitely do um, feel that spirituality definitely does play a huge role in that intelligence. And I'm not talking about spirituality in terms of just like what religious organization you're a part of. Are you Christian? Are you Baptist? Are you
Mm-hmm.
Methodist kind of thing? No, like you have a really strong idea of what a relationship with God is in terms of how that looks for you. And if it looks the same for me, then I'm like, all right, we on the same page. Because I mean, I can go deeper into that, but that's honestly what I look for: intelligence and like a spiritual sense of self.
Okay, I got you. Okay, you go, Bill. I'm just getting my little questions in for the ladies.
Yep.
Ow. Ow.
We're gonna start posting video. That is funny. Wow. So, are you attached to New York, or are you willing to go where the opportunity is?
That's a good question. Um, in this now moment, I would say I'm not attached to New York. I would definitely go where the opportunity is. Um, I think maybe a couple of years ago, I probably wouldn't have said that.
Mm-hmm.
But I think at this point in my life, and I guess the direction that I feel like my career is in right now, like I'm open to going where the opportunity goes, or wherever the opportunity is.
I think LA is probably gonna be in your future. We'll see. We'll see.
We was actually I was meeting and I think they want to record over there at some point, but I don't even
I own it from the cooking. So.
like
Wow.
I'm recording in New Jersey at the moment. So um I my management team has a studio that we're recording out of there. So
Okay.
that may be in the I guess a move that's considered, but then I don't even think I want to move to Jersey like that.
Jersey,
No,
Jersey.
nothing against the Jersey listeners.
No, no, Jersey's cool. A lot of people. No, funny enough, a lot of people who are like big in Philly and New York, they live in Jersey and they commute,
Hmm.
which I find interesting because it's so
But ain't
expensive.
that because of tax reasons and shit? It's
Yeah,
cheaper over there.
Yeah,
yeah.
Oh,
I
okay.
think that's one of the reasons. um,
Ain't nobody
but yeah,
moving to Jersey that have no family.
a lot of
Joe Budden did it.
I ain't moving there. Or at least, I ain't gonna. I'm not even gonna say never. I hate to say never. Like I don't. I'm not. I ain't gonna never move there. I ain't gonna move there. But I don't. I don't prefer to move there. I would say that.
Okay. All right. My final question for you. First of all, thank you so much for. Well, I'll get to this afterwards because I have a really large amount of appreciation for you. I'm gonna tell you why. My last question though. So, and I try to be consistent with this question. I ask every guest this. So, thinking about where you've been, where you started, and where you are now, what do you have? What advice do you have for someone who may be pursuing the same thing, or someone who's pursuing something in life, who's going through the struggles, the downfalls, good moments, bad moments? Like, what advice do you have for those up and coming people?
Always, always trust what excites you. Trust what excites you. Despite how that looks to other people, if it feels good within you, if it works for you, then it's going to work out for you. And I'm a true witness to that. Like, there's been a lot of people in my ear telling me, I shouldn't do this or I shouldn't do that. Specifically the direction that I was taking my music.
Mm-hmm.
I shouldn't sing these songs. I shouldn't sing those songs. I shouldn't have this look. I shouldn't do that or that and the third.
They told you to put your shirt on.
Pretty much.
Oh, you out here being worldly. Oh, okay. Okay.
You know how these folks do.
Put some damn clothes on.
But then at the same time, like that worked for me. And I feel like in trusting what excites you, you discover a lot about who you are, and you really truly begin to define what you want, and like really stand in the truth of who you are. Because if you spend a lot of time like listening to people telling you what you should do and what you shouldn't do, then you'll end up you know living up to their happiness, and you're not finding yours. And so that's my advice, because everything will always work out when you trust what excites you. And the people that you would need to take you to your next level will show up automatically.
I needed to hear that. I needed to hear that for me. I'm glad you said that. I needed to hear that.
I'm here, Biff.
Biff, you did actually show up at the right time. That's funny. You are a part of that story, Biff. I just need you to act right a little bit better.
I'm trying.
You're not. But
Yes, I am.
I know you're getting better at muting your mic. But you still trash at it. Mr. McKenneth, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for not being brand new. I will say, you know, I'm not here to fake in front, y'all. I'm not going to act like me and Mr. McKenneth here were like best friends in college, but we definitely had good times together, some great laughs, some great moments.
Sure.
And I've always watched him, supported him, and when I reached out, he immediately responded. I cannot tell you'd be surprised at how many people we've gone to school with that I have a relationship similar to yours, and I've reached out. And you know, on Facebook, you can see when someone sees your message.
Oh, stank acting hoes.
Yeah. They don't respond, or they trying to screen the podcast. Like, let me listen to it first and see. I'm like, huh?
You got too much dip on your chip.
Yeah, or you just leave a brother high and dry. I'm like, okay, I'm one of the little people. That's fine. Okay.
Nah, Rob, like you, like for the simple fact that you do support me, like I don't ask you to support me, like you genuinely, wholeheartedly do that, and that means a lot. And so I feel like, you know, it's only, I wouldn't say it's only fair, but this is like just out of respect for your grind and your hustle. Like I see what you're doing. I appreciate the work that you're doing. And I'm here to support, man.
I appreciate it.
I'm here to support.
So RCA starts a podcast division. You just anything podcast related that you have any advice on, please pass this way. But all right, before we let you go, tell everyone where they can find all your stuff. So when I post a description, I'm going to post your links and things of that nature. But tell them where they can follow you. Tell them about your projects. Any and all promotional things go right here, right now.
JosephMusic.com. That's JOSEFF music.com. You can find all of my, you can read my bio. I have a bio on that page. And I also have my music on that page. So if you want to support me directly, I'm directly giving you my website. However, I am available on Apple Music, iTunes, Tidal, YouTube, all those other sites where you stream your music or download it. I'm there as well. I'm on social media. I'm active pretty much on Instagram and Facebook, so you can find me on Facebook at my music page is Joseff McKenneth, JOSEFF McKenneth, and then my Instagram is Mr. Joseff, MRJOSEFF.
Oh, smexy.
Oh my God. Thank you again for joining us, and thank you all for listening. Y'all already know we are on Instagram as well, FME_podcast. You can join the Facebook group From My Experience Podcast on Facebook. You can listen to us on iTunes, SoundCloud, anywhere that you go to listen to your podcast. Biff, what you got?
Nothing. You guys, Valentine's Day passed. Hope everybody enjoyed their weekend or their loves, whether it was big or small, or whether you liked it or not. I hope you were appreciative. And let everybody know to stay black, stay proud, stay you, and stay down. And we will catch you next week.
All right. Peace.
Peace.